copy that.
Okay, I was about to say.
Why are we going to magic shows all the time?
I am going to a magic show in July. I
This
bought
is-
tickets. I'm seeing Justin Willman from Netflix.
This is my
Oh,
uncle.
nice.
Yeah.
I like his style of magic.
Yeah, he's real good. Yeah, I want to visit the site. Let me see.
I think the only real magic show I've ever been to is we went to Penn and Teller when we went to Vegas.
Dude, Penn and Teller rule.
Yeah.
That,
Like, legitimately, like, they've been around for however many years.
Holy shit, he has a... Yo, I didn't know my uncle had a fucking YouTube channel.
Well, why didn't he
He
know
doesn't... He doesn't post to it, that's why.
that?
It's been 11 years.
What? No, I don't want YouTube TV. Okay.
I don't think he's been doing magic nearly as much since my cousin passed, his son.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
yeah. That's my uncle. He used to go on Bozo all the time. That's how I got on. Like, I wasn't, like, out in the things. I was too young. But I was on Bozo as one of the audience members as a little kid. It was a picture of me crying with Bozo trying to hold me and Cookie pointing at me.
I mean, to be fair, that's like, you know, everyone's initial reaction to a clown is to cry.
Yep. My
I
cousin
didn't-
Brad, he was on Bozo.
Really?
I didn't know until adult years Bozo was a local Chicago thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize that wasn't everyone in America knows Bozo.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, it became more of a nationwide thing. A lot of people know about Bozo.
Dude, do you know who the current Bozo the Clown is? Like, who owns Bozo the Clown, the likeness and all that?
No.
David Arquette.
Would not have fucking expected
Yeah.
that.
David Arquette bought the licensing, the likeness, and, like, as far as, like, the official Bozo the Clown goes, it is David Arquette, currently.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Bring back the show.
I don't know if he does, like, touring or anything like that, but I know he's got, like, the social media of it, like, locked down and all that kind of stuff. It's just wild. It's David Arquette of all people. He's like, yeah, no, Bozo the Clown is an institution, and I am going to preserve the legacy of Bozo the Clown.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, because I don't know whoever owns the rights to Svengoolie should do the same.
I think it's his son, and he still does, like, appearances and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure he was at C2E2 this past week, and he's usually there.
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So was Danhausen, Brody Lee, and not Brody Lee, Brody King. God, no.
Oh,
R.I.P.
okay.
Brody King. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about.
He passed.
Yeah, I was.
He
I was
passed.
gonna say I don't know if you saw my face. I was like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah. And Sky Blue, I think they were at the Pro Wrestling Tees booth most of the weekend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, no, I was like, I think a year old max when I was in the audience for Bozo.
Yeah.
But Brad did the ping pong ball throw.
Oh, Bozo buckets,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
And I think he's on camera bawling his eyes out when he misses.
Oh, dude.
Half the kids always were.
Dude, like
Like,
yeah,
even
that's
just
the thing.
throwing the balls.
That's the thing about Bozo buckets. Like, that was a high tense situation where, like, going in, if you miss the first one, you're a fucking clown.
Yep.
Like, you are like
Like, you
nobody-
could not go to school.
Yeah, you are a pariah. Like, you might as
You
well
were
change your
gone.
name, get plastic surgery, and disappear.
God,
No, Mrs. Bucket 1, you piece of shit.
I remember watching that, man, and when kids would get to like 3 and then 4, like the adrenaline would start going, you know, and it was like, oh my god, please let me see.
Dude, they'd push the adrenaline just as soon as they'd pick you, get the crowd going wild, get the clown in your face, and oh, it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah,
Dude,
shout out to Bozo.
Yeah, and shout out to your uncle, dude. That was an impressive bit of mentalism I just saw.
My uncle's a really, really good magician. World's Greatest Magic 4. I was wrong. For some reason in my brain, it's been burned in that it's 5, but it's 4. He was in 4. So,
All right. So whatever Derek says, -1.
Yeah.
you know what? Just go with that assumption with anything. It doesn't even have to be number related.
Yeah, it's just whatever it is, -1.
-1. But yeah, he's a really good magician. Ken Mate. He's been doing it for decades, absolute decades. There's I'm not gonna go grab it or anything, but when I turned 18, they my aunt came to my birthday party shortly, and she gave me this folder, and in it was a letter and a few other things to me, and it was thanking me because if it wasn't for her babysitting me while my mom was working, she would have never met Ken, because Ken happened to be eating at the restaurant that she was waiting for my mom to be finished working at. And they got to talking and everything, and it led to a date because he was showing her magic and everything, and used me as a wingman.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you want your wallet back? For a date.
It was really heartfelt, and I loved it then, and I only cherish the folder more now. But yeah, shout out to both of them. They're awesome. They're really cool, and magic's fun.
It is fun, dude. That might be like one of the most wholesome childhood stories you've ever told me that you've had.
I don't have many of those.
No, you
I don't
don't.
have.
That's a good one though.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You hold on to that one. Oh,
Yeah, I love that one, man. That one's great. But yeah, they're awesome. My cousin, their son, he passed away a few years back with the whole fentanyl thing.
Mm-hmm.
He had his own demons and all that, but they're strong. You know, they've become like advocates and such for mental health awareness and treatment and such. So it's really good.
Yeah. It's a good reminder to, tell the people that you love them.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love you, boys.
I love you too, boys.
Love you guys too.
Obviously, I've been recording for a while now.
Oh, jeez.
I figured, yeah.
Yeah.
I had an assumption.
Yeah. Since we're kind of riding this little bit of wholesomeness, I wanted to kick off today's show with something a little bit fun. A little, mental exercise, if you will.
Ooh.
Something that I think is important to the business of wrestling when it comes to wrestlers. One of the more defining moments of what makes or breaks careers. I'm talking walkout music. So I've given this a lot of thought personally. I've finally come to my, I think, final conclusion of what my walkout music would be if I was a wrestler.
Okay.
And I wanted to hear what you guys, like, first instincts, what you think you would pick. Because I've bounced back and forth quite a bit. And, it could be, something that's, public domain. It could be licensed music. It could be anything you want, obviously. I finally settled on what I think would probably be the most hype for me personally, and that is Sirius by the Alan Parsons Project. More familiar to people who were familiar with the run of the Bulls going back-to-back championships in the 90s and their entrance music.
Yeah.
That is something that I feel like just builds crazy fucking hype, and I think that'd be perfect for a wrestler.
And then honestly, that's pretty on brand because, knowing you for most of my fucking life, like, I remember you went to the Bulls camp and everything, you met Jordan, like, super into the Bulls. Maybe more Jordan than anything else, maybe, when looking at the Bulls themselves, but, yeah, dude, you were hardcore into the Bulls growing up. And
I mean,
everybody was, but,
worldwide. Yeah, and like that was
everyone had a Jordan jersey.
Yeah. They had the the Bulls gear and everything like in those days, but like I feel like that was probably like the prime time for me to be like born, I guess, cuz like the time that the Bulls were at like their peak was also at like the time where my skinny white ass could actually play basketball and be on a team.
Yeah. Not, I mean, and there's something's got to be said. Like '90s, like poppy dance kind of music and stuff, and just music in general, had like an amp about it all the time. So like, dude, totally. That song in general, like we listened to that hundreds upon hundreds of times. The Bulls used it for years. They might even still.
I
haven't
think
been to
they
a game in
do.
a long time, but
like that's not something that you give up, you know.
No,
that's legacy stuff that stays in for generations to where some kids like, why is this even here? It's there so I can tell you this fucking story that's going to take an hour of your life.
Exactly. And also, like, it takes on a life of its own, where it's just like it becomes more associated with the one thing that has been adapted to rather than, you know, its original form. Just like, you know, the Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think I gotta ask. Not because I still need time to think about what I would choose.
Not delay.
Oh,
no, of course not.
Of course not. But no, it's gotta be asked. What would your gimmick be then?
My gimmick? I haven't settled on that, you know? That's one of those things. Because I'm gonna be completely this isn't self-deprecating. This is honest truth. I'm not that athletic. I have never been athletic. Okay? I'm slightly taller than average, and I've got a slightly average bigger penis. That's all I've got going for me.
True.
You know?
It is true. It's true.
So, as far as gimmicks go, I don't know where I would land as far as what I'd be able to do in the ring, because that defines part of what your gimmick is going to be. Like, if you're a high flyer, you can go straight to luchador gimmick. You can build something off of that real easy. If, you know, you're just a powerhouse, you're a giant, all of those things kind of predetermine what would be a good gimmick for you. And
who's the guy who keeps his hands in his pockets and just kind of lazily?
Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, there you go. I feel like you'd be his twin in the ring.
Sloth style. I fucking love sloth style.
Dude,
man. It's so good.
I could roll with that. I could be.
And then just do those little bursts of explosive energy, but the rest of the time just be like, no.
Dude.
Honestly, to me it is wrestling's drunken master style. Yeah. Basically. Like it's that much of a standout, and everybody plays into it. Everybody. It doesn't matter if it's your first time in the ring and he's doing his triple kick to you, or if you're in the audience for the first time seeing it. Everybody loves it. It just hits.
Yeah, and he's one of those ones where his walkout music perfectly suits his gimmick, because his gimmick is basically Paul Rudd from Wet Hot American Summer. The song that he walks out to is Jane. Perfectly synced up, you know?
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
Walsh, I feel like there's like 3 or 4 different bands that I would pinpoint that you might choose.
Like, I was thinking that, yes, like, we're probably have the same bands in mind of like, oh yeah, Walsh is probably going that route. I think I'm going level 1 Contra music from the original Nintendo game.
Ooh, I love that. Oh my god. And that, dude, you'd be a hit at AEW. No joke.
Dude.
No fucking joke.
The only problem is I'd be that wrestler that came out and be like, all right, I'm just going to go hang out with the guys with the microphones. You guys do the stuff in the ring. That all sounds like way too much work. I'll be the guy like, all right, get one of the big guys to come out. All right, just pick me up and spin me around. And I'll try not to have a giant smile on my face as we do it.
Cue frickin' Snoop Dogg doing the people's elbow, but put Walsh's head on top, because that's basically what it would be.
Snoop Dogg has
that'd be awesome.
Been the saving grace in 2 matches at 2 WrestleManias back to back.
Yep, back to back.
Yeah.
Dude, shout out to Snoop Dogg, dude. He's awesome. I love him.
Oh yeah, dude.
But what would your gimmick then be? Would it be fully that? Like, would you dress up the part and everything, or?
At this point, I think I have to bring Derek with me as a tag team, and one of us has the red pants and one of us has the blue pants.
And then we inevitably face off against each other.
Yeah, the big money match.
RVB.
The mega powers explode.
Yep.
That's when I get the, some sort of interference and have Alex come in and he takes you out.
some GM interference.
Uh-huh.
Oh, dude.
Like, our whole tag team dynamic would be, all right, Get him, Derek.
Hell yeah.
Like, Derek didn't even get tagged out. Got beat up by both of them and pinned. Yeah, it was a rough match. He might have a concussion.
Yeah.
And every time I go to tag you, you're not there. You're just like hanging out.
Just signing random newspapers for kids in the audience. Like, it's just today's business section.
You like go out into the audience and find the one person that always has the I can't see poster, and you stand next to him and go, "Me too, brother. Me too."
Just lift him up. Yeah, now you can see, buddy.
And then you throw him into the ring.
Hell yeah.
Hey, you're taking my place. Go tag out with Derek.
Yeah.
And with how this is all being set up, I have a feeling it's going to be me that inevitably actually does the double cross. You know, because I'm going to be like, oh, no, I could do better on my own. And then I'm going to be worse off, and he's going to be elevated to main card status. So,
yeah.
You come out and do that, and they cut to me, and they're like, no, really, he's going to do way better on his own.
It'll be like a reverse Jimmy and Jay Uso.
Ooh.
Where I'll be the one to try and go out on my own, but it's not going to work. So I'll be kind of like a weird Jimmy, and you'll be Jay. Where for some reason in this timeline you didn't leave, but it worked out for you.
It just somehow works better when you face two people at once by yourself while I root you on. Like, I can't take out one person, but two, I can take two.
I can take two.
Yeah, you can take two.
And when we release this, it's Monday, so it's going to be Raw's
the draft. Yeah.
Draft, and I'm assuming you're looking this up right now, Alex. But Jimmy's injured, right? Like he's like that was a real injury.
Yeah, I believe it. I don't know if he needs surgery yet, but he has been sidelined. Let me see. He's not going to be part of either night of the draft. Nature and timetable is currently unknown. So, yeah.
You know, recover, brother. You're a great wrestler, man. So you'll be needed once you're healthy.
Yeah. He's part of my headcanon for the future booking of the Bloodline. Part of what I suspected what was going to happen with the draft was going to be Jay and Jimmy being drafted to the same brand. And, them reuniting being a thing sometime later this year. But with him injured, I don't know what happens with that.
Well, yeah, because Fatu was signed on recently, right?
Yeah, so, Jacob Fatu.
So it would have kind of led more into Jimmy being able to kind of go over with Jay. And kind of replace the roster a little bit in the Bloodline.
Yeah, especially considering as of SmackDown, Paul Heyman said that Roman has withdrawn from the draft. He's going to be a free agent or something.
But that's, I mean, so if we're going outside of kayfabe here, though, it's because he's doing movies. So
yeah, he's doing something with Kiki Palmer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I don't remember what the movie is. I just know that right now, it's either right now or soon he's going to start shooting.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't line up right now for him to be wrestling. So, shout out to Roman, though, because all of the love that's been coming his way this past month now, it's been awesome. Like,
yeah,
people looking back on his time, not just as champ, but as before then, and really kind of seeing it in a better light than we all kind of did in the moment. And it's good because, you know what? Acknowledge him.
Yeah,
acknowledge him. Yep.
Dude, that's something that's become kind of a recent phenomenon with the dub recently, is just there is sort of not revisionist history happening, but more or less just people are turning around and being a little bit kinder to some of the wrestlers. Like Cena has finally turned the corner full on, where people aren't getting the mixed reactions on him anymore. He's just getting straight cheered. Miz. Another one, super over.
I actually am really happy for him right now, because I don't know if you probably saw the interview, but where he was surprised by the love he's getting. Yeah. And it was a cute kind of, because I know I shit on the Miz a lot, but he is a really nice guy. He seems to be.
Yeah.
He in the interview he had said all I've ever really wanted was people to like me, but now that people do, I don't know how to feel. Like it's a weird feeling.
I think it's because he's so good at being a fucking heel. You know?
I think so too. Yeah. But I'm loving this this dynamic. Like obviously, him and Truth always kind of pair up really well. But this latest kind of run with the two is awesome. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, one of the most surprising things about them currently is they still have the belts. I suspected they were just doing it for the WrestleMania pop, and like the next Raw after that, they were gonna get challenged by who gives a shit, and they were gonna lose.
Nathan Fraser.
I think keeping the belt. Have you watched a match with him yet? Have you watched a match with him yet?
He hasn't. I know he hasn't.
Wait, no. I think I saw.
You think
you've seen one?
I think so. Maybe it was a promo. I saw.
You know what? That's still more than before in many ways. So I'll take it. But
I saw him on television and not on the computer.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, we play GM mode in WWE 2K24. Check it out on the YouTube channel. We've added Walsh now that we've started into 2K24, and yeah, Nathan Frazier is one of the workhorses on his roster. He doesn't know this man.
Yeah, if we played the game, did Derek and Alex make this wrestler, or is it a real person? Probably get a lot of it wrong.
Oh, I'd be all
That's
for
something
that.
we should do. That's something we should do.
Oh yeah, we can book maybe a Royal Rumble with that.
Yeah,
I think
and he has to choose who we've made and who's a real wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That might take some prep work though.
Oh yeah.
But I guess it's time for me to finally, even though I still haven't fully figured this out yet, but my
You just gotta go first instinct.
Yeah, you've been doing
What comes to mind?
long enough here.
Honestly, I think I would come out to, I think it's called We Are the Bold. It's on artlist.io. Shout out to Artlist. Been using them for our stuff when adding music. They're amazing. Not sponsored, but if you want to sponsor us, that'd be great. But it's We Are the Bold, and it's real hyped. It starts off a little quick for maybe some people's palate, but I love it.
Yeah, Google search is failing me, so we'll have to find that later. Maybe editing Derek can insert it into the video.
Maybe I'm saying the wrong one. I'm double checking right now.
Yeah.
Let me go to my assets folder. Oh, sorry, March of the Bold.
March of the Bold. Okay.
March of the Bold. It's by Balloon Planet. Shout out to Balloon Planet.
Okay, yeah.
But it's on Artlist. I've used it in GM mode as well, I believe. It's I don't know, it's just good. And it starts off quick, but it doesn't like go super heavy. It just kind of like keeps a pace going, and I'd probably come out to that, and honestly, I feel like I would probably, if I was in a singles thing, not like in a tag team, I would come out kind of like a Surfer Sting kind of deal.
You want to go old school 80s throwback.
Yeah.
I respect that, yeah.
And I would do the paint and everything. Like, not the same style, but I would definitely go like neon colors, probably like neon pink, neon green, neon yellow. And just do some crazy 80s type of style and try and bring that old school body style back.
I mean, that is still like very apparent with probably one of my favorite tag teams working right now. Also known as the youngest men alive, the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. Those guys are an 80s throwback. I fucking love them.
Yeah, there's just something about 80s wrestling that I just absolutely love. And I'd like to relive that vicariously by doing it in the now, if I could. Because I would do the full like I would either do leotard, or I would do the singlet panties.
Oh, you want to do
undies.
like the old school like traditional Greco-Roman Olympic style
Yeah.
singlet.
Like Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle, Chad Gable,
Yup.
Big E, all those guys.
But I would have flair on my boots, like some major flair.
Yeah.
Like, there'd have to be tassels, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There must be tassels. But it wouldn't be on just the sides. Like, it would be, like in a weird pattern.
Yeah.
Almost like
We'd
fur
get you-
boots, but not quite fur
We'd get you
boots.
all the tassels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a kitty that has decided to climb behind my monitor, and he is staring at me. Hi, Data. Hi, buddy.
But yeah, I think that's what I would do. Otherwise, I would still probably somewhat go with kind of like a Sting kind of thing, though, because I think I would otherwise... I mean, I was super emo in high school, so... Like, I would have to feed into that kind of vicariously, too, and maybe come out to, like... I don't know, some MCR or something.
I was in my head, I'm like, he's going to say My Chemical Romance. Like, he's
Yeah,
going to say
well,
My Chemical
you got to go with the trope, baby.
Yeah. They did have, what was that one that was more just, like, straight up, like, hair metal power ballads and just, like, electro?
That was not their last album they made, but I think second to last, because that's the one that had, like, nah, 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 nah on it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That album was fucking fire. Shout out to all them. Like, they're great. Mm-hmm. Umbrella Academy, awesome.
Fucking cool.
Gerard Way, man, super talented. Love that British pop album he did. Like, was it 4 years ago? Maybe 5? Mm-hmm. When he was going solo still.
Was it?
Yeah, when he was solo for a while when they were on hiatus, and he did a British pop style album. Because he didn't break up or nothing; they just went on hiatus for a bit.
It's so weird that his cousin is Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that is weird, and I have a feeling, knowing him, that he's not happy with that. So.
Yeah, probably. Like, that's one of those things that just, like, kind of, like, crosses my brain every time his name is mentioned. And I have to double check and do a search to make sure it's true. Because I'm like, that doesn't seem right.
I mean...
I know I've checked this before, but yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he probably checks, too, to be like, can I maybe not be related to him? That'd be nice.
I can see that,
maybe I'm really not. Maybe this is a fever dream.
Maybe someone was swapped at birth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just get one of those DNA tests. Let's just make sure.
I don't know if I would dress like how Sting was, like with the crow sting necessarily. I'd probably try and do my own kind of thing, but I would still want to come in out of the rafters regardless. Like, it might even be more... I might even do like more of a Batman gimmick at that point, but less like billionaire beating up poor people and more beating up billionaires.
Okay, I mean, go for it.
I figured out my costume.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember, this was a long time ago, like, internet videos were first starting to be a thing, but there was the guy who invented the
The what? Oh, the bear suit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
so he could go, like, defy bears and do it. Yeah, I want that. I want to be able to take a cinder block swinging to the head, get knocked off my feet, and get back up and be completely fine.
When he gets hit with
mauled by bears?
I have no idea, actually.
I'm not sure. I just remember they were testing it, and they're like, all right, we're going to take the cinder block, hang it 30 feet up in a tree, and we'll pull it back like 10 feet and let it swing into you.
Yeah.
And they pulled it back like all the way and let it swing into him. It took him off his feet, and he got up like a little dazed, fine, but was like, that was only 10 feet up. They're like, no, we accidentally brought it up all the way. It's like, oh, okay, good.
Okay, I was completely wrong. I'm going to butcher this poor man's name. Inventor Troy Herbert Tuis. He is a Canadian inventor.
Nice.
No, he died in a car accident. A transport truck collided with his car that was carrying gasoline. Huge explosion. Yeah, guy burned to death in the vehicle. 2018. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's tragic.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I mean, there ain't no bear suit's gonna save you from that. You need, like, I don't think he had ever thought about flame retardant when going.
Bears don't
going
shoot
against
fire.
bears. Yeah, well, that we know of.
Yeah, he actually won the Ig Nobel Prize for that bear suit, by the way, which is a prize awarded annually to unusual or trivial achievements in scientific research. Its aim is to honor achievements that first make people laugh and then make them think.
Well,
That's
honestly,
amazing.
he kind of showed that. Ooh, that was a little bit of a whistle there. He kind of showed that you could make something not exactly like Mjolnir armor, but similar-ish, and not achieve the same, respect, or like same stuff, but safety-wise, like holy shit, because this could be applicated not just in war, but in everyday use for first responders and stuff like firemen.
Now,
Wait, let's get some 40K Terminator armor.
no, Derek, you just made a very interesting analogy there, because he did attempt to make something very similar to the Mjolnir armor as the Trojan armor in 2007-ish. He designed armor to be worn by soldiers. It was the Trojan ballistic suit of armor, ballistic full exoskeleton bodysuit of armor. Claimed that, let's see, it was like 40 pounds, the full suit. He put out a video which showed it being protected against 9mm 357 handgun rounds and a 12 gauge shotgun. Shotgun, yeah. With 0 cuts, like just back to back.
Well, and like with armor like that he was trying to make, what he focused on was dampening like the kinetic force and the shockwave that typically comes from kinetic force. So it makes sense why his armor and his ideas would actually work really good in a military style setting, as much as I don't want it to be. Because if you can dissipate that the shockwave, I mean, you could potentially keep someone alive who stood next to a grenade. Like
Potentially, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, grenades don't always kill and all. Like, if you've seen any of these videos coming out of the wars and stuff, like, obviously people don't just die from grenades, but to be able to not only stop the shrapnel from getting and hitting flesh or anything, but stopping the concussive wave before it hits your brain.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, dissipating concussive forces and blast forces is a goof fucking physics.
And that's what he was doing, basically. So, I don't know. Like, he was onto something there. I just don't like, as much as I know I'm bringing up military application, but, like, it's because it's the easiest one to first think of.
Yep.
But, like, firemen and stuff like that, going into burning buildings, get hit by a log or like a 2x4 or a piece of timber from the collapsing house, and you survive it and can still keep helping people.
Dude, miners.
Yep.
People working on offshore oil rigs, like any sort of, dude, even fucking like crab fishermen, like they get rocked from waves and shit, getting knocked around on those boats.
Oh yeah,
applications for something like that.
Bear milkers, anything.
Yeah, bear milkers. That is not for the weak-hearted.
That is not.
Yeah.
T-Rex urine extractors.
Yeah, they're dying.
People in Australia.
Yep, just living in Australia. Yep,
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Oh my god. So,
But I don't know, would it protect you from the huntsman spider? Because that thing's vicious.
I mean, nothing protects you from that. Only distance.
yeah, nuclear explosion, preferably.
Well,
All you gotta do is lead line it.
put your thumb up, and if it's bigger than your thumb, don't run. Just don't run.
That's a reference.
Shout out to
Fallout.
yeah, shout out to
TV show?
Fallout. I did finish it. I don't know if I told you that, but
No,
I did
you
finish
did
it.
not tell me that you finished it. Walsh, have you?
So I finished it.
I have not yet.
Okay, I'm on my second watch through right now, and it might be my favorite video game adaptation.
Other than Last of Us.
Yeah,
Uh,
Last of Us was. Oh. See, but the thing is, with the difference being with Last of Us is like Last of Us was just like a gut wrench almost the entire time. Fallout has, some levity to it that helps. It's got a different vibe to it entirely that makes it a little bit easier to watch.
It definitely. I'm not going to give away any spoilers or anything, Walsh, so don't worry. But it leans in to the tropes that Fallout likes to kind of do with like NPCs and such, but it does it in a way that is not too campy to enjoy.
Yeah,
I guess I would say. Like they ride that wave perfect the whole way through the 8 episodes.
Yeah, the side characters feel more like the Obsidian era of Fallout than the Bethesda.
Yeah, this definitely has major New Vegas vibes when it comes to writing style.
Yeah, as far as like the actual like characters and stuff go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Though it seems like season 2 might end up in New Vegas because there's been some hints online about it and everything. There's been a lot of talk about if they could do like a house style character.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rumors of that started when they were offered a tax credit to film in California.
Well, I could see that rumor persisting for a long time. But either way, Walsh, watch it, especially if you liked Fallout 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Because this doesn't just feed into 4, which is the most recent stuff. There's a lot of influence from 1 and 2 in this, and I love it.
I don't remember 1 and 2 at all, really.
Well, if you don't remember, you can play them right now on Xbox's Game Pass.
We are not sponsored, Derek. Do not give away that for free.
Oh, all the things Derek will give away for free. Don't you worry.
But please, if you want to sponsor us, we'll go into more detail on what you can get on Xbox's Game Pass. Hashtag not sponsored yet.
To be determined.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, we're even like, this is some behind the scenes stuff, but we've talked about Fallout 76 and maybe giving it a shot, despite it being such a, like, as far as I know, a bad game. I never played it. I wasn't willing to play it after I heard how horrible it was.
You never played it at all?
No, never touched it.
I haven't either.
I gave it a shot. I gave it a shot back in the day.
Wow.
From what I remember, because this was, I think, 2018 when it came out.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, I played it for a little bit. It didn't fall into the usual traps of like a persistently online world game that usually falls into. Like I wasn't having server issues. I wasn't having issues with other players or anything like that. It was just there wasn't a lot of content at that point, and there wasn't a clear direction of like, okay, what is this game going to be? Everything I've read about it, as far as like the current state goes, because it's still being supported, obviously. They've added a lot more end game stuff. They've added ongoing like in-world events, raids, just different sort of more dynamic things that people can expect when they're actually working as players in it. And they added something like from the get-go that I thought was pretty cool is like, you can set off a nuclear bomb. Sure. Why would you want to do that? Initially, people thought it'd be like, oh, just fucking like griefers. You could just blow up another person's camp or something like that.
No, I got a lot of money.
Yeah. What you can do is you set off the nuclear bomb, and that immediate area becomes a new temporary high-level land with like legendary gear and enemies. Also,
so like you could still grief with it in a sense.
In a sense,
but there's actual bonuses to doing it though.
Yeah, there's an actual reason to do it other than that.
That's cool. So, like
Was it Fallout 3 where you got to blow up the town with the nuke?
Yeah, Megaton. Yeah, Megaton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they paid me a lot of money to do it.
My first playthrough was the Goody Two Shoes approach. I disarmed the bomb, and then I horrifically murdered everybody in Tenpenny Tower. With justice. It was justified. They're bigots. They deserved it. And then after I blew Tenpenny's head off, I picked up his corpse and threw it off the side to see if after I went down to the bottom I would see it, and it wasn't there.
No. Those are different instances.
They were completely different instances. They look the same, but they're not. But yeah, I then obviously I did the evil thing. I blew it up, you know. And gotta say, was it Moira was her name? The one that has you do all the quests and stuff to put her book together, her survival book in that.
Is it?
I think her name's Moira. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember at all.
I just fucking played the game and I don't remember. I'm bad with names, audience. I'm really bad with names. But whatever her name is, she survives. Spoilers. And you can still do the quests. So it's like, whatever. But yeah, it's evil as fuck to blow up that bomb. Don't do that one. unless you're going the evil approach.
Yeah.
That kind of, I'm not going to lie, that makes me kind of want to play a little more, to try it out more.
Yeah.
So
I'd say, I mean, we are definitely going to have to play some.
Yeah.
That's just how it's going to be. Because it does play very much just like, Fallout games. There's exploration, there's scavenging, there's crafting, there's a bit more of a survival aspect on it. Like if you had played it with hardcore mode on, where you have to actually like eat food, drink water.
The way I play.
Your radiation. Yeah.
That's the way I like to play New Vegas.
Yeah, they also added in something with the radiation where if you have enough rads, essentially, you gain a mutation. And it's kind of like, okay, you get a benefit and a negative to it. Like, I think one that I'm familiar with causes your like total health to drop, but when you're at like less than like a quarter health, you get like 30% increased damage.
Yeah, I've done that approach in the single player. And
Yeah.
I think 4 has that as well. Where
Yeah.
you can do that.
I think so.
Is there stats like to like charisma and all that?
Yeah.
To put okay, because then I might do the idiot savant thing if we play it.
Well, it plays a little bit differently with the way that the special is laid out. Like, you have those, and then depending on the number that you have assigned to a specific attribute, that determines how many perk cards you can equip. And, like, they have different values, too, because you can get multiple of the same card, and then you can merge them for a higher value one.
Okay. Well, I mean,
What's the VAT system like?
It's real time.
People.
It's real time.
Okay.
That's all it is.
that would
It's
make
just-
more sense.
Yeah. It just doesn't, slow down anything.
Because could you
Okay.
imagine? Could you imagine if no matter like where you were in the world, if someone used VATS, everything slowed down for that portion of time? Like you're just
Game
running
would be
along,
slow-mo.
Yeah.
and you're just like doing your thing, building your base. You go to make this jump, and all of a sudden it feels like you have moon physics for a little bit. And you're like, what the?
Yeah. No, that's essentially it.
That would be crazy.
And they also do have the nice thing of where you can just disable PvP entirely. You can go to like pacifist mode. So like if somebody engages with you, you have to like actually disable that for them to do any damage or for you to do any damage to them.
I remember this back in the day when they had to make some changes, but wasn't it like if they fired upon you and you fired back, then or like the bullets connected or something, like then it would engage PvP.
Yeah.
But
like,
if
you have to do
only
something
them
like that.
were hitting you, then you would
It wouldn't do
no
anything.
damage would nothing would
Yeah.
happen. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine by me. That's not a bad thing because it allows people to actively in the moment decide if they want to do PvP rather than actually have like in old school MMOs like the PvP designated areas
Yeah.
or just out in the wilds where anyone can just attack you.
Yeah, especially like I remember like playing like WoW back in the day and just wandering into an area because you're on a quest and you're like, okay, I should go this way, on this continent, and then you end up like, oh, I am surrounded by Alliance because I always played Horde. Fuck the
Same.
Alliance.
Saying fuck the Alliance.
The only time I ever played it, I was. What's the elf? Not a dark elf, like a moon elf, maybe?
Is it
There-
Moon Elf? I don't
there's
remember
Night
all.
Elves.
Is it
Yeah,
Night
it was
Elf?
a night elf.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Night Elves and there's Blood Elves currently.
Oh, that's
And-
goody little two shoes.
I played my very first playthrough was a Tauren, and I was a ranger or whatever that their class is for a ranger, whatever it's called. Hunter. Yeah, I was a hunter, and I got myself a purple hyena because that was the rare one at the time, and it was like considered the OP one, and it probably isn't anymore. I haven't played WoW in like maybe a decade, or more now. But at the time, it was awesome, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, you have a purple hyena!" and it was super cool. And then I got bored.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much content to WoW now. Like, I wouldn't want to jump back into it.
No,
it's crazy.
If we were to jump back in ever, we would have to get on one of them servers that's only the old school version.
Yeah.
Of how it was back in the day, just to at least get our bearings. Like, there's no fucking way.
I mean, even now, I think the classic server is past Wrath of the Lich King expansion.
Oh, so it's already past the... Is that past the Cataclysm? Is that what they called it?
No,
the Cataclysm when everything
is the
changed?
next one, I think.
Oh, okay. So they're almost there to where everything is just permanently gone.
No, it wasn't permanently gone. It was just altered. There was a giant hole in the middle of the map, but
I was gone by that point. I didn't play Cataclysm and Beyond. I didn't even watch content about it, to be honest with you.
I've tried jumping back in a couple of times, you know, and then like I give it like a week, and then like, okay, this is too much.
Was it like last week, 2 weeks? I don't remember how long ago. Whenever we talked about EverQuest last, that got me to start looking again because I had watched a video where a guy was going over and he plays MMOs and rates them, and they're all usually fake ratings. Like, there's no real ratings to them, but he goes over like all the issues these MMOs have, and it got me to want to play EverQuest. But then I looked at it and it's like unless you get on one of them free servers that kind of doles out the DLC add-ons and stuff like over time, it's so much money. It's so much money.
On Steam, EverQuest, free to play.
Yeah, free to play. Yeah, but if you want all that extra stuff to it, it's when you get into the game. Because they've gone the monetary route of they allow you to play free, but it's not everything.
Yeah, I don't need everything. WoW is up to like a certain level cap for free. And I don't know about Final Fantasy though, because I've heard great things about Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, that's one of those we're going to have to at least try at some point on the channel, honestly. It looks fun for at least a little bit of time. I think you played it, didn't you, Alex?
No, I never touched it. My brother went hard on the previous one, 11.
That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of.
He did everything in that game. Like, he had, like, I don't know what he hadn't touched, because he did, like, every bit of content that they ever put out in that game.
Man.
He played
There was so much back then. There was so much back then that it was like, it would take you years to get through it all.
Yeah,
God, that's
so
crazy.
much time into that. It's insane. Okay, we've gone quite a while, and I've already put the effort of putting it in the title of our background, so we got to talk a little bit about some AEW action.
Hell yeah.
First things first, let's because like the whole conceit of today is what I teased last week is AEW back? Because we were coming hot off of Dynasty, and like they kill it at the pay-per-views. Their pay-per-views are always next level. It's the week-to-week TV where things get a little funky.
Yes.
So, like, a couple of things I want to just touch right off the bat as far as, like, what your guys' thoughts are. And then I want to go on deep on a couple of matches.
Okay.
So, Dynamite on Wednesday, Tony Khan closed out the show with Jack Perry. Jack Perry sucker punching him in the gut, and then the Bucks picking him up to do the formerly known as Meltzer driver, then known as the TK driver. I don't know if they've changed it, but they basically, pile drive Tony Khan live on TV.
Yep.
He was selling it over the weekend, leading up to it at the NFL draft, wearing a neck brace because his family owns the Jaguars. So he's been.
He's like part of communications or something like that for the Jaguars. So like he kind of I don't remember what position he has, but him being in front of the camera is not abnormal for them.
He is a very data-driven role, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got something to do with that on their on the team. But yeah, he's been selling it ever since. Which, God bless Tony Khan for doing that. Like, not selling it well either, too, because he's wearing the neck brace, but he's still like moving around.
Yeah, I was gonna say I watched it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But hey, man, Tony's willing to play into kayfabe.
Yeah.
Tony's willing to do this and go as far as it needs to go. And look at the payoff. This made mainstream sports news.
Yeah.
Mainstream.
Yeah.
A lot of places also played into the kayfabe.
Yeah.
For the fun of it.
Like the NFL's like official press package. ESPN was commenting on it. Sports Illustrated, all of them were covering it.
Yep, and they were going over like how big of a bump it was and trying to play it as it being super hardcore. And I think honestly, that makes me feel like AEW has some plans in motion that are good.
Yeah.
He even had his dad playing into this, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is where my money's going?
I want to give a quick shout out to Jack Perry at that moment, because he did something that was really fantastic. That was a very minor detail that really helped sell it. He punched him with the hand that was holding the microphone, so it really sold the oomph of it, so everyone could hear it. Really smart little detail. Gotta love
I love the meme that's also come out of all this, where the hug and he does the smile at the camera.
Dude, that smile
is
so perfect. It's such a shit-eating grin that he has got. It was the same smile when, during the pay-per-view, during the ladder match, he came out and was unmasked. Also, love the detail of him wearing a Sting mask.
I was going to say.
You know, Bucks, retired Sting. They're keeping that continuity going. But also, whenever you see somebody in a Sting mask, there's always a slight possibility it could be Sting. There's always that slight possibility.
Yes. I mean, we knew it wasn't from the build.
Yeah.
Like, that was dead giveaway.
Yeah.
But there are people who have very similar builds who, if they were to do it, me and you, the three of us would be sitting here going, was that actually Sting?
Yeah.
Because Sting plays into kayfabe, so he'd be willing to do shit like this still.
Yeah. Also could have been Darby.
Well, I don't know, actually. Darby, he wasn't able to climb Mount Everest because of his broken foot.
Yeah.
And then he did the one thing you never do in New York is you cross a street in a crosswalk. Ever. And he was hit by a bus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he got hit by a bus. He's okay.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah. Like,
technically.
He will recover. He will be fine, but he got battered up from
that picture is fucking brutal of his face. It looks like he got assaulted.
Stop New York. Cabs. That's why the cabs are bright yellow, so you can see them zipping at you and be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't get in front of that bright thing.
Oh, man.
Legitimately,
but the buses are blue.
In college got hit by a cab in downtown Chicago. Broke his hip.
I mean, I got hit by a car once, too. I can't say much.
Yeah.
So, I didn't break nothing, luckily, but messed up my arm bad and got some glass in my head and shit. But
yeah,
getting hit by a car is no joke.
No, it's no joke. Not unless you're a stuntman and you know how to jump into it properly and roll off.
Seriously, and even then, it's still gonna fucking hurt. It just won't hurt as bad.
Yeah, they're lucky that they usually have the padding underneath their clothing.
For real. Oh, they need the bear suit.
The bear suit, yes.
Yeah. Honestly, dude, if I could, I would wear that fucking bear suit, but I'd probably end up, like, out with my arms out up wide, like the kid in fucking...
Christmas Story?
Christmas Story.
I can't put my arms down. Put your arms down when you get to school.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, other things that happened, we got a new TBS champion. Shout out for Will Nightingale.
Yes.
Yeah, we called it. Julia Hart is injured, so they had to write her off some way. But I loved what they're doing with her right now. It's super fun. She's super over, even if it's until the next pay-per-view where she loses it to Mercedes. I loved that her, Stokely, and Chris Statlander had their celebration at Chuck E. Cheese.
Dude,
got to meet Charles Entertainment Cheese.
The picture's so golden. It's so golden.
Great.
Honestly, even if she does lose the belt, she's so over right now. I think she'll end up taking it back, but in a more legitimate style where it's not helping another person be able to take a break.
Yeah.
I think that I personally don't know if they're going to take the belt away from her quickly. She's really like we were saying, she's really over, and I mean, I don't know. The picture's adorable. If editing Derek remembers, he'll throw the picture up. It's adorable, all of them. But there's also some heat in that picture too. There's also some heat because if you want to explain with the shirt that was being covered up, and all it said was what? Kent?
No, Trent.
Or Trent. Sorry, Trent. Yes.
Yeah, Trent and Orange win the big one.
Yeah,
because Trent has finally turned heel, essentially laid out Orange Cassidy and, called out, Chuck Taylor, which, God, this is one of those tiny little moments that has been building quietly in the background online for years with Best Friends and Chuck Taylor. Now, Trent is a fantastic heel. He's great at being an asshole. That's fantastic. Yes. So a heel turn for him was coming eventually regardless. The big payoff of this, though, was Chuck Taylor finally being allowed to say shit on television. He hasn't been able to say the word shit for years, and he has been begging for it quietly on Twitter since the inception of AEW. And I love it. He finally got his moment.
Well, and I think with WWE walking out of the PG era, it's only right for AEW to do the same thing. They don't need to have a renaissance, but allow some swearing.
No, this is... So, the pay-per-view was stellar. By far, one of my favorite pay-per-views from AEW. One, dull spot on the card, and that's, Chris Jericho versus Hook. The crowd were not happy with him. He might have turned it around. He might still. We'll see. But they were chanting, "Please retire" to him during that match.
Oh man, yeah. He said something on Threads about having the FTW belt and how people were standing behind him so well, and he loves it for all the service and everything. And he didn't respond, and I'm gonna keep trying. But I asked him, where was your wife on January 6th, 2021?
Dude, he is never gonna respond to you, ever. Since you mentioned that, he's probably got you blocked.
I'm not blocked yet. We'll see how long it takes. Yeah. I will attempt. Every time I see a post from him, that's what I ask.
Yep.
And I will continue to do so until either I get a response or blocked. But I did have a Chris Jericho fan tell me that she was fucking my dad. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Necrophilia. That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. He's been gone for a hot minute there.
Fucking hot minute. Yeah. She was fucking some dust, brother. So
yeah. That's real bad.
She had to, put effort into this. So she would have to collect it all, put it all together. I don't know if, maybe, freeze it with some water to give it some shape.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's the only way. But either way, I'm going to continue to ask Chris Jericho where his wife was on January 6, 2021 until either I get a response or I'm blocked.
Yeah. My money's on blocked.
I'm assuming that too. Yeah.
But overall, pay-per-view, stellar. Very happy with it. The Dynamite immediately after, little bit of a weird show, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Main event didn't go the way things were planned as far as Moxley and Hobbs. I hope Hobbs is okay. He looked pretty hurt. But the overall layout of the show, a little bit all over the place. And the technical issues has been confirmed was caused by TBS and Warner Brothers. That wasn't AEW fucking up the audio. That was the actual network fucking things up.
Okay, I was wondering about that because I watched through streaming, and I still had issues with the audio. So it's coming through TBS or whatever to the streaming service I use. So that, obviously it makes sense. But I was wondering about that because that was weird.
Yeah. International folks watching on, I believe, Fight were saying that they had no issues.
No issues? Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have to do something like that in the future if there's
Maybe.
real bad issues going on. That's good to know.
Yeah. Overall, though, accordingly to the higher-ups and executives at Warner Brothers, they are over the moon with the results that AEW has been getting. They're very happy with their performance. So, like, all that doom and gloom that we have been seeing from people about AEW these past 5 years, still unfounded, apparently. People are very happy with their performance. But there's one particular match I wanted to talk about the pay-per-view today.
Sorry, my dog's here.
Yeah, and you know exactly what I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about Danielson and Ospreay just breaking the scales of ratings for matches. People, this might be recency bias. I don't know. I'm all for it. They're saying it's the best wrestling match to ever air on North American soil.
It was don't get me wrong. This was one of the best matches I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Oh yeah.
But I think this is more of showing what's to come.
Yeah.
I don't think this will, when looking back during this era for AEW, is going to be seen as the best match. I think this will be seen as one of those matches that was the stepping stone to these more high-flying, crazy style antics. Because I think if AEW leans into it, it's going to be hardcore down the road, dude.
I mean, legitimately, those two guys went out there and said, okay, here's the bar for a good match. Everyone else needs to step up.
I feel like they honestly, putting those two in the ring together, showed that two people who want to continuously one-up the other person with moves can be done right. Because you have two guys who are really good at putting other people over.
Yeah.
In the ring. Two guys that are really good at selling moves. And two guys that are willing to take fucking hits.
Yeah, and
so,
one guy who has not even hit his prime yet.
Exactly. That knee that Danielson did to Ospreay.
Oh, wait, okay. I am upset with AEW for not including that in the hype package on the Dynamite afterwards.
Thank you.
So, I know you didn't see this. Will Ospreay does a springboard from the middle rope to his, the move is called his ox cutter, and it's, you know, like an RKO, basically, but he does a springboard from the ropes.
Basically like a Cody cutter.
Yeah. Danielson does a flying knee and catches him right in the face while he's midair trying to execute this move. The timing on it could not be more perfect. It is one of those things that you honestly, like, he commits to it. Usually when you see somebody going for like a midair intercept, the guy who's taking the move is doing nothing.
Yes.
Will Ospreay is fully committed to doing his ox cutter, and he is, up until like the fraction of a last second, he just gets right in the position to take the fucking knee to the face.
Yeah, he turns his head the right way at the last moment. It's honestly, it's perfection. It's one of the coolest things. Maybe we'll show you after we finish this up, after we wrap up. It's one of the coolest things ever. The photography for it was astounding with all the lights and everything, and with the way the knee connects in, the light beaming through right at that last moment. Dude, it's so perfect. And he commits 100% to his move for that.
Yeah.
And you hear it. There's a hit. Like, it's not like there's no connection. There's a real hit. I think Danielson's padding and such is the main reason why this bump might not have hurt as bad as it looks. But it was a real hit, for sure. There's no way that didn't hurt at least a little bit.
Yeah,
and
this is like very much in like the New Japan Pro style of wrestling when it comes to strikes, where it's just like, we're going to really hit each other in places where it won't hurt that much. And he catches them like right here with it.
Yeah.
So like that's
it's like in the sweet spot.
Yeah, that's like your best case scenario for taking a hit to the face.
Yeah, a little bit lower, you're unconscious.
Exactly.
I think the main reason the hit was as loud as it was because of the camera being that close.
Yeah.
But either way, that was the whole match, man, beginning to end, was so awesome. Like, This is what we've been talking about for a couple weeks, though, with with Brie and Ospreay and bringing Okada in. These more grudge, just fucking beat 'em up style matches that New Japan's known for and needs to be seen by an American audience.
Yeah, and also I want to give a huge shout out to the crowd in St. Louis that night. They were up for everything. Like they were engaged from the beginning of the show till the end. Like they had so much energy, it felt that much bigger. I love when a crowd is into a show because it just sells everything so much more.
Yeah, that match is honestly, because I had some other ones that I was really looking forward to, but that one and one other to me were the two biggest ones of the night.
What, Paka and Okada?
Uh-huh.
That was a fucking hell of a way to open up that show.
Yes. I personally believe that was the best opener you could have for a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh God. Like,
you play into both of their characters' strengths so well. The storytelling.
Yeah.
I don't remember who the creator was. I was listening to it this morning when me and Christina were having our morning coffee and enjoying the no rain that we're having right now. And the gentleman was talking to people who don't listen or don't watch wrestling. And he was explaining it that wrestling is the perfect union between storytelling and sports, where you can tell a complete story from beginning to end. Everybody knows who the good guy is, who the bad guy is. Everybody roots when the bad guy does a role change and switches face. Everybody knows what's going on, but everybody plays in all the time because everybody's having fun.
Yeah.
And I think that this type of storytelling right now from AEW, especially with a lot of this stuff, this like New Japan style, I think it's gonna go over hard, just real hard, as long as they stick to this.
I sincerely hope so. And another thing that they're doing currently that I want to give them just enough credit for, because they're finally fucking doing it, is we're getting multiple women's storylines happening concurrently, and not all of them involve championships.
Yes, I think that's amazing. I think WWE, at least NXT, knows this for certain already. But we're seeing the fruit of this labor at NXT and AEW right now, mainly. When you focus on women's wrestling in a way where it's not just belt related or lingerie and stuff like that, like it was back in the day, like you get some great storylines, you get some great movesets coming from these wrestlers that you might normally not get to see because women's wrestling usually isn't at the forefront. But these last few years, man, I feel like when it comes to what it can take to put a story over the top, women's wrestlers are going to get it done.
Yeah.
And they've shown that.
Yeah, God. I'm trying to think. Right now, there's a couple of different like story threads that are going through in the women's division that I'm super happy with. We've got Thunder Rosa being back, doing good work again.
Yes.
She's great to have on TV. She's a phenomenal wrestler. Her promos are a little bit the same over and over again, but whatever. I'm excited we're finally getting Mercedes Moné to get some time in the ring at the next pay-per-view. They're delaying it like crazy, but you know what? It is what it is. If it keeps multiple storylines going, I'm all for it.
And you know what? We've been complaining about it, but who knows? This could still pay off. Like we have to keep saying that. This could be a good payoff. We don't know what the end result is meant to look like yet.
Yeah. This could just be essentially them burning out like her newness so that way she can be heel, you know? Because during a debut, like they're gonna get cheered, they're gonna get, a positive welcome from the crowd. This might just be building to her being a full-blown heel against Willow and making it work. So that way people don't want to cheer just because she's like, oh God, she's here type of thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Interesting storyline.
Yeah. But yeah, like that's kind of like the main stuff I want to talk about from the pay-per-view. I mean, obviously we got, the Bucks, new tag team champs for third time, really playing up their heel characters, having a blast with it. Let them run with it. It's phenomenal.
honestly, dude, they give that belt legitimacy. They honestly do. I know people make the joke all the time, like the Bucks take the belt and drop it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, they're the ones who sell it the most when putting the other team over for taking it from them. Like,
Oh yeah.
it just works. So like, it doesn't bother me. I know I've seen some heat online about it a little bit, like, oh, the Bucks have the belts again. But it's like, come on, they're the ones that you need to be able to sell it when the belts are taken away.
People love to hate on the Bucks just in general.
True.
That's just kind of what it is. I mean, there's a reason they named their autobiography "Killing the Business," because people make the assumption that, like, no, these guys suck at what they do. But there's one other thing that is a minor update that I think we should touch on real quick, because this was dropped by The Rock like early this morning, or was it last night? Very casually, just dropping that Drew McIntyre has re-signed with WWE.
Oh, are you saying casually?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? You're saying casually?
Yeah, very casually.
Casually. As casual as
super
like,
cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, as
No worries.
casual as, I don't know, while someone's out to dinner, you send them a sword.
Yeah, just a Scottish Claymore
So
as
casual.
a gift.
Just, you know what? It's so casual. We do it all the time here at the Night Off podcast.
Yes.
Honestly, whenever we celebrate our minor achievements, not just our major ones, but our minor ones, like properly wiping,
Yep.
Tying your shoes.
tying your shoes, washing the dishes, like scraping off the gunk before going to bed. We hand over claymores for these, but not the swords, the mines.
Yeah, the mines. Yeah.
That fire claymores. Swords.
Yes.
Yeah.
A
You know
claymore,
what?
claymore.
Walsh used to always get so mad at me, so mad when I would say, I want a gun that shoots knives. But here he is saying, oh, we can have a claymore that'll shoot claymores. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
It's one thing, as opposed to all the moving parts. You don't understand.
I just want a gun that shoots knives. That's it.
I'm pretty sure the Slingshot channel on YouTube has you covered on that one, Derek.
I've seen them shoot the machete, dude. That was awesome. Walsh, if you haven't seen that, I'll send it to you. It is so cool.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so one last thing before we wrap up. Something
Okay.
I'm very excited about, okay? Kenny Omega has been announced that he's going to be at Dynamite this week on Wednesday because they're in Winnipeg, Canada. So, my heart is telling me, please let him be okay, and he's coming back to the ring soon. But that's probably not the case.
No.
This
No.
could be anything, and I want it to be good. That's all I want. I want him to be okay.
Yes, I saw this too. Personally, I believe that it's because of them being in the area that he will just be showing up to be on. But I think this could lead into him, if this were to go over well, could lead into him doing like a commentary position while he heals. Because that would be awesome. Especially with the love that he gives to his fellow wrestlers when talking about them.
Oh, yeah. He put over Roman Reigns huge the other day on Twitch.
Yeah, dude, it was so good. Like immediately, no Roman Reigns hate here. No. But yeah, like it's awesome, and I think that honestly, like how Big E is, where the update that we got from the 13th, where he said, he's doing better, but he's not in a position to where he can wrestle, and he might never be.
Yeah.
But you put these type of guys onto commentary positions in the meantime, dude, you're going to fill seats. You're going to get people watching on screen at home because they're both super charismatic. Like, how can you watch Kenny Omega talk on the mic when not doing full kayfabe and not fall in love with the man? Like, seriously, he's just an adorable, sweet... Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, we need something to happen with the Bucks, with Jack Perry, with Okada, because they fired him or kicked him out of the Elite when they started reforming it a couple weeks ago now, and Hangman hasn't been around either because they've also kicked him out and fired him.
I would like to see a Bullet Club story arc.
Well,
Put Kenny in charge of the new AEW Bullet Club. Have him be like the manager in the meantime.
we'll see what kind of happens there, because let me dip into my Bullet Club lore because, okay, Bullet Club founding members Finn Balor and Tama Tonga are now in WWE, both of them.
Yes.
AJ Styles still in WWE.
Yes.
The Good Brothers also in WWE, and Cody all WWE.
True.
Let's see here. That's 3 of the Bullet Club's previous leaders currently in WWE. Kenny, Bucks. I don't think Okada was ever in Bullet Club.
No, I don't think
he was in Chaos.
Yeah, he was in Chaos. I don't think he was in Bullet Club.
Yeah,
maybe unofficially, but
yeah.
I don't think he was an official member.
Nah, yeah, maybe not.
Not that I recall, at least.
Yeah, but yeah, Kenny and the Bucks, when they formed the Elite, they were still members of Bullet Club, and then they, created the Elite of Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And then we've got Bullet Club Gold, which is Jay White and the Guns, and Juice Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
God, there's a couple of different moving parts there where I don't know if they'll actually put something on there, because I think the current leader is David Finlay at New Japan. Officially.
Well, with the way that New Japan and AEW work together, though,
yeah,
maybe like a subdivision.
Maybe
with a cul-de-sac, maybe multiple cul-de-sacs, as Walsh has rightfully pointed out, it is called cul-de-sac.
I hate words. Okay, words are the devil.
Yeah,
They are.
think House of Torture, which Jack Perry is now a member of, is also a contingent of Bullet Club.
Well, either way, we need something Bullet Club related, in my opinion. The members, it doesn't have to be called Bullet Club, obviously. Just bring together some of the Bullet Club guys and put a team together and let Kenny be the manager. Let him be the new Paul Heyman.
I mean, fun fact, a part-time member of Bullet Club is former Green Arrow Stephen Amell.
That's right, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Crazy.
Holy shit, I forgot. Dude, he did his wrestling debut back in 2018,
somewhere around there.
Yeah, I was thinking like 2018, maybe 2017. Yeah. Dude, hell yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Also technically aligned with the Elite through Cody Rhodes.
Yes, technically, yes.
Yeah.
Damn, that's so good. I forgot about that. It's not going to get me to watch Green Arrow, but he's awesome.
Dude, that show's been off for a while now.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not going to rewatch it, is what I mean.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll see if his most recent show, Heels, will get a revival. Apparently, since Starz canceled it, there was some talk about maybe taking it to Netflix.
Well, I wouldn't do that necessarily. I feel like Netflix, granted, I still use Netflix, but it definitely has that kind of like Elephant Graveyard kind of vibe.
Yeah. There's some stuff happening there where, I don't know, there's still some stuff on there I enjoy.
Yeah, no, there is for me too. But overall, I feel like it's now a relic.
Oh, it's gonna be the next Blockbuster.
Yeah, it took out Blockbuster, and now it's getting taken out by its own competitors.
I don't know about that, dude. They just signed a deal with WWE. We're going to be seeing Raw on Netflix.
True. I agree with you there, but how
I don't mean
over the years, how many titles and such has Netflix lost because all of these people decided to do their own streaming?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the original content isn't always that great.
Yeah.
Some of it is definitely standoutish, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Umbrella Academy, Avatar, Stay Alive.
The only problem is the good stuff doesn't stick around because after 3 seasons, they're like, oh, well, we don't want to pay actors more. Let's do a new show.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I still use Netflix, don't get me wrong. It has some great programming on there. It's just...
Yeah. My girlfriend is currently obsessed with The Circle. You guys know that one?
Yeah, The Circle, yeah.
Very weird reality show, group of people living in apartment building, but they're isolated to their apartments, and they can only communicate to each other through text, group chats, and private messages. There's no like actual interaction with anybody until they're like kicked off the show.
Wait, so if they're in an apartment built, like, is there someone in the apartment next door?
I don't know like where they're exactly laid out.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, just go all Office Space and be like, "Hey, Peter, man."
Turn on channel 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I haven't watched it, but I've seen it pop up for me because I do watch some trash, some schlock.
Something
I
that's
do watch.
not trash. But
Oh, we all do.
reality, Physical 100. The
I don't know that one.
South Korean one. Basically, they get 100 people together from different walks of life. Primarily, them being like Olympic athletes and stuff like that, and they compete in physical challenges, and they are slowly eliminated through series of just like some of the most extreme shit. Like the first thing that they started off with in order to determine their rankings was, we're putting you on manual treadmills, and whoever runs the farthest in 10 minutes proceeds, then another 10 minutes, then another 10 minutes. So it's like a half hour of just sprinting for as far as you can go in order to determine who's like the top of the food chain. And that's the preliminary. That's the first thing they have them do.
Oh, so I get knocked out in the preliminaries.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gone because I can sprint, but not long distance.
Yeah.
No, sprinting is for like
Short
here
distance.
to just over there.
Uh-huh.
It's like, no,
Yeah.
you got to go way over there. Okay, walk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Another
Or
one
jog.
that they had them do
Or
was
is it jog?
Yeah, it was jog. It's a soft J.
Soft J. I thought so.
Yeah. Another one they had them do was is it not headquarters. What's the one where domination in Call of Duty, okay? Similar setup to that. It's a maze with 3 points, and in order to maintain control over it, they have to carry basically sacks that are like 10 kilograms into a weight. So you have to keep piling on weight in order to maintain control while the other team is also piling on weight.
Okay, I
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah.
That one I would be good at.
Yeah. Dude.
You can just stack shit on my back. I'll go.
It's
Till
all
you hear,
those,
Oh yeah, that's the downside of doing all that is I throw my back out easily. I can carry all that. You just might run the risk of me being stuck in a certain position for 4 hours.
yeah. But the reason I appreciate it is because despite being a reality TV show, despite being competitive, everyone is super supportive and wholesome with each other. They
That's
are all
awesome.
always cheering everyone on. It's very
That's
nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think I would last long. I think I would get knocked out in the prelims. So
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
the trash that I end up watching is like 90 Day Fiance, where I'm like, oh my god. Well, because it's usually because of how embarrassing it is for me to watch as an American, seeing how other Americans react to the culture shock of dealing with someone from outside the country. Like, I feel like a lot of Americans do not understand that places are different, people are different, and sometimes the way in which they may approach something is very different to how we will. And it's just schlocky garbage, and I still like it because it's just embarrassing to watch, and I'm self-deprecating, so I'm like, oh, this is so bad. Like, this one lady, she married this guy, right? From Africa. I don't remember what country he's from off the top of my head. But she's just like this... Anybody who's watched 90 Day Fiancé probably know what I'm talking about. But she's like this horrible lady who's a chain smoker. That sounds like she just smokes 1 million cigarettes a day. She just recently lost like a couple 100 pounds or whatever. But she brought him over from the country. And then he had to run away and hide from her. Because she's so controlling of his life, because of like when you marry someone in the United States and you come here, you are basically at the beck and whim of your spouse for at least like 6 years, it seems like, or more, depending on when your full green card status comes through.
That's amazing, and you've kind of given me the perfect closing here, Derek, because you've teased what I want to do next week, which is going to be talking about guilty pleasures. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Thanks everyone for joining us on your night off. We'll see you next time. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. And
All the
barring any
buttons.
massive wrestling news or world disruption that happens, we'll see you next week where we talk about our guilty pleasures. Say
How
goodnight,
the
boys.
fuck?
Good night.
That, I am dumbfounded. Like, that was... I mean, good night, everybody, but that was amazing.
Yeah, and we're out.
That was amazing.